You see, amid all the madness, it seems the pro-America crowd is growing across campuses across the country as students are proudly standing up to anti-Israel activists. Here to discuss is retired U.S. Marine bomb tech and Fox News contributor Joey Jones and pro-Israel activist and journalist Emily Austin, who is currently in Jerusalem. Joey, you'll understand. We'll do ladies first here to start.
Absolutely.
Emily, what do you make of the fact that you watch all this pro-Hamas sort of terrorist love that students are standing up and saying, "No, we don't want to be a part of that"?
It's so refreshing to finally see the silent majority coming out, because I can tell you, as a Jewish student, as a Jew in general, it feels very isolating and lonely to be not only Jewish right now, but pro-Israel. And to see finally all of our friends and allies stepping up to what was very cleverly masked as anti-Israel rhetoric, which in reality is anti-West pro-terrorism protests that they're doing now. It's nice to see that the Americans are finally waking up, smelling the coffee and realizing, hey, we actually might be next here if we don't stop this chaos now.
Yeah, Joey, it is heartening to see, but we have to remind ourselves we're watching students hold up the American flag in America because other students are holding up other flags.
Well, yeah, that's insane to me. We hear these stories every now and then of like an HOA saying, "Oh, you can't put that American flag out there," and we kind of just breeze by it, right? We're like, "Man, thank God I don't live in that neighborhood," until you do live in that neighborhood. And that's what they would have this country become, a place that looks at ourselves as colonizers and oppressors rather than the most prosperous country in the world, specifically because we're the most diverse and the most patriotic. Like, if you speak different languages, pray different prayers, vote for different people, if the one thing that holds you together is the fact you love this country, that's a good thing. But when you use those things to tell people they shouldn't love this country, well, now you're using diversity as a weapon. And that's what's happened is we've said, listen, if you exist on this intersectional pyramid of suffering anywhere but as a white male, you're actually being oppressed, so you should hurt the country, you should hate the country that's hurting you. That message is not only false, it's destructive. And I tell you, what do manipulators do? They tell people how terrible they are. They work their self-esteem down so they can take advantage of them. That's exactly what this is. Hate your country, hate your past, hate what you stand for, so I can tell you what you should stand for. I went to Georgetown back 2012, 13, 14. It was after the Sandra Fluck drama, but it was before any of this. I couldn't imagine sending my kid to one of these schools now. I mean, listen, if you send your child to one of these Ivy League schools that's not only allowing this, but kowtowing to it, shame on you. I mean, shame on you. My son can go to a technical college, a service school, or a community college. That's all I have faith in right now.
That's a fair point. Emily, do you think this is this a reflex, a snapback, or are these universities capable of a rebound, of actually embracing the country and rejecting this? Because Joey raises a great point.
I really feel like the leadership that's already failed has to step down for real change to be made, because now you've set a bad precedent. As the president, let's use Columbia as an example. She's already shown students what they can get away with. She's shown her lack of leadership. She's shown that she can't address the root of the problem. Rather than expel the students that are chanting pro-Hamas rhetoric on campuses, she'd rather waste the NYPD's precious time, when there's plenty of crime all over Manhattan, by staying on campus until May 17th to reinsure the Jewish students' safety and tell the Jewish students, if you feel safer at home, stay home. She would rather go that way than address the problem. So when you have leadership that shows you how weak they are, the students already know exactly where the boundary is set. They see they can get away with it, and you can't have people like that in power. That goes for mayors, politicians, universities, presidents. So to see the real change, they need to step down, and we need to put somebody who can keep their students in check and keep law and order, which is something the country is lacking greatly nowadays,
For sure.
and then reinstate.
Joey, real quick, it's been the frat boys have been the ones that have stepped up and said we're not taking it anymore.
I know, and I love the fact that people want to use that as an attack. So let me tell you something. My brother-in-law is a frat boy that's been a fireman for 30 years. I went to war. I fought wars with frat boys. It's not exactly the negative connotation people want to make it be. And you know what? The fact is, on the right side of things, we usually aren't as loud and outraged because we have reason and common sense on our side, and we don't understand the necessity of being loud and kind of stupid about things.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's what we have to do. We have to show these administrators that are so weak and so cowardice that there's actually consequence to only kowtowing to the ones that are the loudest. So good on these frat boys.
Absolutely. Emily, thank you very much. Joey, great to see you. By the way, Joey will be on the big weekend show. Make sure you watch it tonight and tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, right here on the Fox News channel. We'll be watching. Thanks, Joey.